It's the most wonderful time of the year. Minky Couture's holiday season is here. Wrap your loved ones in the gift of luxury with our softest, coziest blankets ever. Perfect for movie nights, chilly mornings, or those magical Christmas Eve moments. From kids to grandparents, there's a Minky for everyone. Shop our exclusive holiday collection now, in-store or online at minkycouture.com. But hurry, Santa's favorites won't last long. Minky Couture, making your holidays merry, bright, and oh so cozy.
Coming to you live from the Elliott Avenue Studios, this is The Barbershop. Brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail, the official auto detail provider of the Seattle Seahawks. And by the Trufant Family Foundation, an organization aimed at improving the community one kid at a time. With Marcus Trufant, here's T. Holla.
We back up in the Heezy, baby. Woo! It is The Barbershop here on Sports Radio 950 KJR. My name is Terry Holloman, a.k.a. T. Holla.
And yes, I am Marcus Trufant. What's up?
And we are back after a little hiatus. We've been on vacay, as you would call it. We needed some time to cool our heels, get to know our family a little bit in this off season. And but we back, ready to go to work. True.
Hey, T, it's time to. It feels like it's been forever though.
It really does. I almost don't know what to press here. I'm scared I might touch the wrong.
Don't touch nothing, right?
Make the wrong buttons go and.
Oh hell no! Hell no!
We gotta bring it back already.
Right,
You know what it is. You know what it is. Hey, listen, I gotta be honest with you about something before we get started, man. It's been a long debate within myself. I didn't know how I wanted to open the show.
Okay.
I didn't know if I wanted to come out and say, back up in the Heezy, baby, like that. If that might have been too urban.
It kind of rolled off smooth off the tongue, though.
Was it smooth? You know that's Snoop Doggy Dog.
You don't say, Terry.
I'm just saying some of our listeners might not understand.
Right, true.
So I didn't know if I wanted to go there or just say, hey, good evening. Welcome back to the Barbershop.
That would have worked, too. On the Donnie Simpson tip. Like
they don't know Donnie Simpson. We're going too far with it, true. Listen, man, it's been a hell of a time that we had off, but we're back getting ready to get to business. Tonight, we have an incredible show for you guys. Make sure you stay tuned. We have some guests that are going to be joining us in here that are going to be giving you some information, some knowledge, some game that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else. Last year, we had the thing that we did all year long. Whenever something big happened, you remember what it was, true?
What was that, T?
It was always the extravaganza.
Right.
All of our listeners, you remember the extravaganzas, right? So today is no different. This is today, the official Barbershop NFL Draft Extravaganza. That's right, baby. It's the extravaganza. Because you know every other talk show for the last day or so have been doing their draft day show.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They've been doing the pre-draft party. Softy and Millen just did the mock draft, and, you know, it was very entertaining. And everybody wants to know all the intricacies of this draft. What are the Seahawks going to do? Are they going to get a lineman? Are they going to get a cornerback? What's going on with the guys that are here at the local university, UW? John Ross, where's he going?
Right.
The Seahawks going to take King? Are they going to take Sidney Jones? What are they going to do? And tonight, I guarantee you guys out there, you're not going to hear any of that. You're not going to hear any of that.
Answer, right?
That's not what you're going to hear tonight. But what you are going to get is firsthand knowledge from guys that have been through the draft process. They're going to tell you what it's like to get ready for the NFL draft, to go through the draft, what they were feeling, what they happened after they got drafted. Some good stuff from some guys that we know that might be related to Marcus Trufant.
Yeah, there's a lot of those Trufants out there from West Coast to the East Coast. But, yeah, man, it's going to be a fun show, and I think it's going to be really entertaining for people to really go inside the draft and inside the minds of these young men at a very stressful at times but important time of their life.
That's right. It's going to be, like I said, this is going to be the real draft extravaganza, the best draft show you're going to get. We're going to be talking to Hall of Famer Walter Jones later on in the show. Make sure you stay tuned to that. Of course, Desmond Trufant is going to join us. Isiah Trufant might happen to get on the line with us as well. And Xavier Cooper, the defensive lineman out of Wazoo that is over in Cleveland right now doing his thing. We're going to wake him up and see if we can get him on the line. But like I said, True, it's been a while since we've been in here. What have you been doing with yourself, man?
T, I've been doing a little bit of everything, man. You know, we always talk about of course, about how many kids we got and
Yes, sir.
everything that goes along with that. How I, at times, I feel like a chauffeur or a taxi cab driver. Not that there's anything wrong with that,
Nothing wrong,
of course, but that's not my occupation. But driving kids, different places and stuff like that. But I've been on the road, man. I've been traveling. I've been to Mexico a couple times.
You went to Mexico twice.
Yes, and both of those were for weddings.
Oh.
One of the weddings, the first time I was in Puerto Vallarta. I know I don't have the tongue thing when I say it.
Well, you got to roll your R.
Right. But it was an awesome trip, and no kids, though.
Whoa.
Didn't bring any kids. Just
How you
me and
swing that?
Just me and the wife. Yeah. Fab5mom.com.
Just me and you.
Check out my wife, Jessica. But, yeah, awesome trip, and really brought Tacoma to Mexico. So,
Wait a minute. You brought Tacoma to Puerto Vallarta. It got real hoodish?
It got
It got
colorful.
Dark. It got dark.
It got colorful in the room, but it was a good deal.
Right.
We was doing stuff like I brought a jam box down there, and at the pools,
they was about to put you out of Mexico.
At times, they don't really have music at the pool, so
Right.
we brought our own music to the pool. We had it rocking a little bit, and the people, they were with it. They was dancing with us. We was having a good old time, and that was one of the Mexico's trips. So shout out to Corey Williams and Tarima Williams. I was in that wedding. I was one of the groomsmen. So congratulations to them. And then I went to Cabo after that. And I wasn't in this wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who have traveled to a destination wedding that you're not in, I went into it thinking, okay, I might be bored or whatever. I might feel left out. But not being in the bridal party, I got the
was
party.
A good deal.
Bro.
You got to hang out.
I turned up.
You turned up and turned out.
To the max.
Listen, you were going to Mexico so long, I for sure thought you were going to come back speaking Spanish.
Right, yeah.
And rocking a sombrero or something. You saw I say sombrero, right? That's how you say it in the hood. We got them sombreros on for cheap.
I got some Spanglish going. But, man, I had a heck of a time. Me and the wife, again, we chilled. We kicked it. And, again, no kids, T.
Right. That was a plus. And then you came right back and went to Arizona.
Right back and went to Arizona. And at this point, it was the kids' spring break. So we have been leaving the kids out. We've been leaving them at home. They've been staying back. We've been FaceTiming, blah. So we had to take them to AZ, get the sunshine, and we really got it in, man. They really enjoyed it. We pretty much lived at the pool, and it was awesome, man. So, I got my summer coat on now. And for those of you who don't know what that means, I'm of a darker complexion right now, but I'm
you
good
are
with
mighty
that.
swarthy.
Right, yeah. So I enjoy that, but I've been traveling in the sun, and it's been great, man.
The color looks good on you, as a matter of fact. You were getting a little pasty. This long winter that we have been experiencing here in Washington, you were looking a lot better, a lot more colorful,
I appreciate
rosy
that.
in your cheeks.
I appreciate that, Brother Terrence.
I got to say this. All of the people that follow us on social media, Barbershop Show _ Twitter is where we've been in communication with a lot of people. And they saw that you were on the road a lot. And you know what I got while you were gone? People kept asking me, T, why you didn't go with True? Why didn't True take you to Mexico all those times, to Arizona? Like we were supposed to be connected at the hip. And we were just talking earlier before the show started. And what people don't realize is Marcus don't really like me, man. Marcus, when we leave the studio, he doesn't talk to me. He doesn't write me letters. Don't send me flowers. The relationship is kind of strained because he doesn't. No, I'm just kidding with that.
I was just about to say, T, I'm a shy guy, so you know what I'm saying? I'm taking my time.
No, I'm just saying. Marcus went to Mexico a couple times and to Arizona. I went to Spanaway.
Nice.
I went to Spanaway,
I used
chilled
to
out.
live in Spanaway.
Oh, yeah, it's lovely this time of year.
You're right.
There's a nice moss-colored green everywhere, and it's moist. No, I didn't go to Spanaway. I actually was fortunate enough. I went down to the Bay Area last weekend to watch high school girls AAU basketball because the Barbershop doesn't just stop with professional and college sports. We've watched everything. Mm-hmm. And I went down there, had a good time, experienced a little bit of sun before I got to come back here. Also, let you guys know, in this off season, since the Barbershop has been off the air, we've delved into other sports. We've been following baseball real tough.
Imagine that, huh?
Ooh. And just imagine that we happen to be following baseball at the same time that the Mariners get their heads knocked in by the Detroit Tigers last night. Felix is injured. We get rid of Leonis Martin. All kind of crazy stuff has been happening. I think we might be the bad luck charm.
Don't say it.
I ain't gonna say it.
You're not supposed to speak it into existence, brother. You're
can't
supposed to
speak.
keep that in your back pocket.
It happened already. I didn't speak. It happened. The guys are hurt and gone. But so we've been following baseball. We also got into, believe it or not, hockey.
Yes.
Soul on ice. Marcus, you went out there and skated with the Seattle Thunderbirds.
Yes.
And I did a thing where I dropped the hockey puck at the Everett Silvertips, because that's in my neighborhood. So we've been diving into other sports. We're going to have a lot of fun this season. We're going to be here rocking with you guys all year. You stuck with us from 6:30 to 8 o'clock every Wednesday night as this thing goes on. Tonight is the NFL Draft Day extravaganza, and we got some very special guests for you. You want to stay tuned. Walter Jones, Hall of Fame offensive tackle, arguably the best offensive lineman in the history of the NFL, is going to be joining us. Of course, when we come back after the break, Marcus's younger brother, Desmond Trufant, superstar cornerback for the Atlanta Falcons, who almost got away with a Super Bowl win last year. We're going to talk to those guys about their draft experience. It's the official Barbershop NFL Draft extravaganza right here on Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Now back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Welcome back to the Barbershop Show here on Sports Radio 950 KJR. I am T. Hulla. I'm in here with Marcus Trufant. Y'all know him as True,
Hey.
the Dark Child.
There you go.
Back from Mexico with his glossy tan. You sure
Sexual
is,
chocolate.
You sure is glossy. Tonight is the official Barbershop NFL Draft extravaganza. You are joining us here for all of our insider info on the NFL draft. No, we're not going to give you.
The inside.
No, we don't.
So
I don't know.
So you're not going to talk about the 40 times and how big somebody's hands was.
All the metrics, all the measurables,
right.
You know, the 3-cone test and who needs what. No, we're not giving you that. We're going to give you some insight from some guys that have actually been through the process, been drafted, some that have not been drafted, and tell you what their experience is getting ready for the draft, what it was like there, sitting in, waiting to hear your name called, and what it was like afterwards, you know, and you're going to get some firsthand information from some guys like Walter Jones and Desmond Trufant, who we're going to talk to in just a minute here. But before we get started with that, True, I would be remiss if I did not bring this up even on our draft day extravaganza.
Okay.
Marshawn Lynch, the beloved running back of the Seattle Seahawks, is now an Oakland Raider.
Mm-hmm.
The trade has been made. There's been a lot of rumors about it, and it's been made official today. He is now an Oakland Raider. He's wanted to play for that team for his entire life. He's an Oakland boy. He's get a chance to go home and
town
do his thing.
business, right?
Yeah, so, you know, a lot of people are up in arms about the thing. But, you know, I say congratulations to him. More power to him. Go do your thing. In my mind, he's always going to be a Seattle Seahawk. This is where he cut his teeth. This is where he did his thing. True, you had an opportunity to speak to his agent today.
Yes, his agent is actually my former agent, or still my agent. We still talk on a regular basis. He's Desmond Trufant's agent, and he's my brother Isaiah's agent, and Xavier Cooper's agent, and many other players in the NFL. He has a heavy roster of some hard hitters on his roster. But I talked to him. I know everybody in the world is blowing up Marshawn, so you know my thing. And my style is to give guys their privacy. I try to do it on a level, you know, on a real level. I'm just not doing it just because you're in the news.
You're his friend. You're his boy.
Yeah, so, you know, I hit Fresh is what I call him.
Doug Fresh.
But his name is Doug Hendrickson. And he was just saying that, man, that this thing was a hard-fought thing, and they really fought through it. And he said that Paul Allen, that he blessed the move, and that Paul Allen understood that Marshawn loved everything about Seattle, but he knew that Oakland is where his roots are, is where his heart is, and ultimately where he wants to do a lot of good in the community as far as the youth and everything he got going with his foundation. And even with the beast mode stuff he got going on, it kind of goes hand in hand. So it's a very smart move. But that's not the only reason, of course, that he wants to go down and play for Oakland Raiders. Of course, as a child, of course, you know, with the Raiders being there and being so involved in Oakland, that's just had to be his heart right there. And I can understand that coming from, you know, being from Tacoma, getting drafted locally and just having those ties in town is huge.
It's huge. It pays dividends. And I just want to say again, congratulations to him for getting it done. Hopefully we can get him on sometime this season and talk to him like we did a couple of years ago. And, all the best to him. I want to ask this question of Seattle before we move on with our draft day extravaganza. Marshawn Lynch, is he the greatest running back to ever don a Seattle Seahawks jersey? Text us in 49451. We want to hear from you guys. Is Marshawn Lynch the best running back to ever wear the Seattle Seahawks jersey? 49451. Let us know what you think. We're going to give you the answer to that poll at the end of the show tonight. But right now, as we continue with this NFL Draft Day extravaganza, we have a special guest joining us from Atlanta, Georgia. Hotlanta. A local boy here. Some of us know him very closely in the room. He's one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL right now, and he actually now has the contract to prove it. We're going to talk to you a little bit about that. Now, we have on the phone Desmond Trufant. What's up, Des?
How y'all doing?
We doing real good tonight, man. What's going on down in Atlanta?
Man, I'm watching this Chicago-Boston game right now.
Isaiah's doing his thing?
Yeah, he's doing straight. It's a close game, so it's gonna be a good one.
Right on. Well, before we get started, man, I want to say congratulations on the new contract. It's very well deserved. I know that Atlanta loves you. We got a chance to go down there and see it firsthand this season. All the Trufant jerseys in the stands with the 21 on it, not the 23. But congratulations, man, on getting that done, man. You're going to be a Falcon for a very long time, man.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate it.
Now, we're talking about the NFL draft tonight. You had a big brother who had a very successful career in the National Football League. So your experience is probably a little bit different than most guys that are entering the draft. But I wanted to know, when did you finally realize, when you were at the University of Washington, that the NFL was going to be a real possibility for you?
I think once I just started dominating in the games, obviously I always had goals and dreams of going to the NFL, but once, my freshman year, I started and I started making plays consistently, I felt like, if I can do this here at this level, then I can definitely do it at the NFL level,
Okay. So when it was your senior year and you knew, said, okay, I'm getting ready to go, the season is over, getting ready to go to get ready for this combine, at what point did you, what were the steps that you took? I know a lot of guys go to other states like California, Florida, and get their training in. What did you do?
Yeah, I think I took like a week off, and then I went to Scottsdale, Arizona. I trained at this facility. And back then it was called API, Athletes Performance, but now I think they call it Exos, I believe. But yeah, I went to Arizona, and I was out there for about 2 months, I believe, 2 months, 2.5 months, just training and getting ready for the combine. And I actually went to the Senior Bowl as well too. Right. So I did that during that time as well too.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Desmond Trufant, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good, Marcus. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Well, now that we're talking about the draft and we've talked about, all the bright spots and all the good things that you did, and I know that, everything isn't perfect, and if people could use a time machine and kind of go back in the past, is there anything, I'm not giving you the option to say I wouldn't do anything different, but is there anything you would have done different, whether it be, from the mental side of it, or put less stress on yourself? Is there anything that you would have done differently during the draft process?
Probably I would have just went over, actually just drawing plays up more, because, I knew a lot. I just knew a lot about football. I feel like I have a high football IQ, and I'm very instinctive. But, when you get to the combine, they actually put you on the board and you have to draw up a lot of different things just like the coaches would, So I would have probably just practiced that a little more because, I was solid. I did good enough, obviously, but I still could have did better in that regards,
All right, okay.
We are talking to star cornerback of the Atlanta Falcons, Desmond Trufant, also University of Washington legend. I wanted to ask you this question. Now, at what point in the process did someone come to you, whether it be your agent or whether it be a scout or whether it be one of these general managers from one of these organizations, that they said you are going to be a first-round draft pick? Did anybody come to you at any point?
Well, I think first it started with my coaches, at UW, and they just were always telling me the potential I had and, what the scouts were saying about me, and then, once I went to go train for the combine, obviously my agent, was telling me what he was hearing from scouts and GMs and coaches and stuff like that. And then, when I went to the Senior Bowl and I did my thing out there, that's when I really knew, like, it was real because I'm on this big platform and I'm pretty much dominating, So all I got to do is just show up at the combine, which I knew was going to happen because I've always been able, we did a combine at UW for 4 years.
Right.
So I was already prepared. I already knew what my numbers were going to look like. So I kind of knew after that Senior Bowl that I was probably going to be a first-round pick.
Right. So we are talking to Desmond Trufant, and he was obviously, a first-round draft pick. The road for him was a little bit different than it is for a lot of other guys around the University of Washington, around all the universities around the country, the guys that are coming out. There's only a select few that go in the first round, and there's another person that's actually out of the Trufant household that took a different route to the NFL, and we want to get his perspective on it too. On the line, we have Isiah Trufant, who played for a couple of teams, and we're going to get his story on how that transpired. Isiah, what's going on with you this evening?
Oh, what's up, y'all? What's going on, man? I'm doing all right.
We're doing good. I'm just outnumbered by all the Trufants right now. I'm feeling all right about it, though. You had a different route to the NFL. Do you want to tell us what it was like for you coming out of Eastern Washington?
Oh, wow. Well, first and foremost, a few years earlier, before me coming out, I seen Big Bro excelling and doing his thing, and I always looked up to him and wanted to follow in his footsteps. So during college, that gave me the motivation to, grind it out, try to get to where I wanted to get, and that was the NFL. And with me having a small stature, and being a defensive guy, wasn't a returner, wasn't a scat back, wasn't a slot receiver or nothing like that. I was a defensive back. I guess it seemed like the scouts and teams kind of shied away from me. So I had my pro day at Eastern Washington, tested very well.
Tell them what you ran.
Yeah, tell us what you ran in the 40-yard dash.
Ran I guess it was official 4.31, 4.32, and had a pretty good vertical also, 44, 43.
Look at about 44, 43, something like that.
Yeah.
That's definitely above the rim for the listeners out there. That's above the rim.
Yeah, definitely. But back to it.
Easy, right.
Right. But yeah, I didn't get any looks coming out of college, so I kind of took the back route, ended up playing some arena football, some Arena 2, first and foremost, played for the Spokane Shock, and, had some ups and downs with that. We wasn't definitely excelling in that, but had some injuries, and we ended up winning the championship, though, so I still wanted to play after that. And then one of my coaches went to Kansas City in the normal Arena Football League, so they signed me on there. And I ended up having to be on the practice squad there due to a numbers game, and I guess they had who they wanted, but they did like me at the same time. So even in the Arena League, it was a grind, man. I was on the practice squad in the Arena Football League, not the NFL. This is the Arena Football League practice squad. So take that in. And then finally got active and started making some plays and stuff for Kansas City. And then that following year, went to Arizona Rattlers arena football team, and that's where I kind of seemed like where I had a good stamp on the team. I was starting at the safety spot, which is that spot where you get most of the passes. The guys get back 15 yards and doing all these moves, triple, quadruple moves on you. Scores about 70 to 80, in arena football.
Basketball scores.
Right. And then another setback, they canceled the Arena Football League, so I was without a job at that point, yeah. Yep. And then thankfully there was a league called the United Football League that ended up popping up. And as I heard Marcus, when I tuned in a little earlier, he was talking about Fresh. Doug Henderson took me in under the wing because he had Marcus as a client. So he took me in and got me signed up with that United Football League. And ended up and with that league, I'll explain it a little bit. It was more of a pickup league that was made up of 96%, I say, of NFL guys that got cut or guys that were at the end of their NFL tenure but still wanted to play. So it was mostly NFL guys or previous or current NFL guys that got cut. So I was one of the guys that didn't have no NFL experience. So I came off the bench and all that, and my team ended up winning the championship that year in 2009. Then in 2010, I came back and won Defensive Player of the League, Defensive Player of the Year. And I guess it caught the eye of the New York Jets. And they brought me in for a workout. And, I know it's a little long-winded. I'm just trying to tell
Give it up, baby. Hey, take your time.
Yep. Yeah, my bad. But, so got to work out with the New York Jets. And then they put me on the practice squad up there. Had a pretty good workout. Like Dad said, the testing and stuff kind of came easy for us with us being kind of athletic and, being able to, show and prove and show our
test well.
athletic, test well and show our athleticism. So they picked me up. They knew I was a small guy, and coincidentally, the Jets had just got tore up 42-0 or something like that by the New England Patriots, and Wes Welker and all them guys was eating them up. They couldn't keep up with them in the slot.
Right.
So I was one of those guys that got brought in, kind of for a specific role, to be a backup of our nickel guys, and just in case something went down, I'd be able to fill in and be able to stick them guys like that. And I kind of found my niche with the special teams and started shining in that, and got on full time on the special teams, and then I was in and out of the lineup with the nickel back throughout my career with the New York Jets. And then long story short, it was a serious grind my whole career.
Long story short,
Big brother laughing over here, man.
Long story short,
Yeah.
I feel you, Isaiah, but
Yeah.
I guess it's always a different road, and that's what I try to tell a lot of these young kids out here.
Listen, True. I'm just to chime in on what you said. I wanted to quit.
Yeah.
Just listening. I feel for you. That was true tenacity that you to go through that, to your route to make it to the NFL. Something that
Definitely.
most of us never get a chance to do.
Right. It was no draft day. It was no draft day.
Yeah.
So
And I had some talks with Big Bro about wanting to quit and wanting to, was I going to try to go back to school? Was I going to get a job? Because, life is starting to happen. You're getting older. You can't ride on Big Bro's shoulders forever. You got to try to make do. So, I had some talks with him. He encouraged me to keep going, and, that was a big part of me pushing forward.
Right on. We've been sitting here talking to all the Trufant brothers, Isiah Trufant, Desmond Trufant, and, of course, Marcus Trufant. Before we get out of here, man, I want to ask each and every one of you now, both of you guys, Marcus and Desmond, you guys were very, I want to say fortunate, but you guys worked your tails off to get there to become first-round draft picks. What did you guys do on draft day, Marcus?
What I did on draft day, I kept it all the way to Tacoma. There was no going to New York or doing none of that for me. I was kind of I was nervous anyway because you never know exactly how things are going to work out on the draft. So I was at I had a draft party down at a place called Jillian's in Tacoma, but I was at a separate hotel, so I didn't have to look at everybody in the eye and everything as these other people was getting picked, and everybody looking at me kind of wondering when I'm going to get picked.
Right.
So I was down at the hotel. I had my mom's, dad, and my brothers there, of course, and my close family all in the hotel room, and we just waited. And it was crazy, of course. That year, the Minnesota Vikings skipped their pick, or they missed their pick. So teams were picking right after another. I think they were picked number 7 or so. So a bunch of teams started just picking after that, quick. And, the Seahawks came up at number 11, and I got the call from Coach Holmgren.
It worked out for you. Des, what were you doing on draft day?
Yeah, I was in Tacoma as well too.
T-Town. Yeah.
Yeah, they invited me to New York, but I didn't really want to go to that. I was at like Marcus. I had like a separate party at I think we was at the UW Convention Center. We were somewhere downtown. The party was at, and I was at the Hotel Murano with with the family, my brothers, nieces, nephews, my grandpa, and stuff like that. And we was in like the little conference room watching the draft, and it still kind of felt like I was in New York because there was cameras in there. We was all in suits, and you know what I'm saying, like the pressure. I tried to get away from that pressure of New York, but I still kind of felt it, and then we just watched the draft and got the call from the Falcons. Then it all just all started popping after that.
It worked out very well. Hey, listen, I want to say thank you to Desmond and Isiah Trufant for joining us here in the barbershop. We're going to have both of you guys on lots more, so get ready for the phone calls, all right?
Yeah, no doubt.
I appreciate it.
All right,
Appreciate y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Trufant brothers took over KJR Radio.
Yeah,
it's a Trufant
baby.
party.
T-Town in the building,
That's right. I love it. Hey, guys, it is the official Barbershop NFL Draft Extravaganza. Stay tuned. We got Xavier Cooper from the Cleveland Browns coming up. And later on in the show, the one, the only Hall of Fame legend Walter Jones is going to be here with us, only in the Barbershop on Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Now back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Welcome back to the Barbershop Show on Sports Radio 950 KJR. I am T. Holla. I'm in here with Marcus Trufant. We know him as True. And this is the official Barbershop Draft Day Extravaganza. We've been having a lot of fun here tonight with former NFL player Isiah Trufant, Desmond Trufant, the current superstar cornerback down in Atlanta, who recently signed a brand new contract. He is now doing pretty good financially. Right?
Yeah.
He wasn't hurting before.
Yeah,
doing all right now. Yeah. But yeah, we want to thank them again for joining us on the show. You can follow them online and social media too.
Yes, you can follow them at Desmond Trufant and at Isiah Trufant. If you didn't get enough of the truths in that segment, check them out on Twitter. Hit them up.
Yeah, definitely do that. We also have something else going on. We talked about Marshawn Lynch joining the Oakland Raiders, soon to be the Las Vegas Raiders. I know it's kind of hard to roll off the tongue, right? Las Vegas.
I kind of like it, though. I kind of like it for some reason.
Yeah, because you want an excuse to go to Vegas. Yes, but we had a question for you guys, our listeners. Is Marshawn Lynch the greatest running back to ever sport a Seattle Seahawks uniform? Text us in here your answer, 49451. We've been getting some good answers so far. You know, they talk about Sean Alexandra.
Who?
Alexandra. I didn't want to. I'm not going to diss him.
You did
I'm not
it.
going to diss him. That was, what do you call that, a Freudian slip? Yeah. Sean Alexandra.
2 times?
Ricky Waters, Kurt
right.
Warner.
All right.
Who is it? Is Marshawn Lynch that guy? Let us know, 49451. We're going to be talking about that. Again, it's the NFL Barbershop Draft Extravaganza, and we have a guy that has recently gone through this draft process. Xavier Cooper, former standout D lineman at Washington State University, was drafted by the Cleveland Browns in 2015. Right now, he's out in Ohio at the Browns OTAs, and we had to wake him up from his beauty sleep to come join us here in the barbershop. But we thank you very much for joining us, Xavier. How are you doing, X?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me, man. How y'all doing?
Doing all right.
Very good, very good. It's a pleasure to have you on, representing T-Town, representing Wazoo. But we want to know how's everything going out there for you right now in Cleveland.
Man, everything is going well, just getting back with the team. You know, we slow pacing it, but this is the time, you know, where you really build that camaraderie and, you know, you're working hard for the things that are up to come with the season. So we haven't started mini camp or OTAs yet. That's not happening to the in the May, top of June. But we working out and getting it right.
Now, you talk about camaraderie and building that team bond, that team, that togetherness, that cohesiveness that it takes for a team to come together. You got another guy out there who's a Washington native, my boy Danny. What is your relationship, Danny Shelton? What is your relationship with him out there? Do you guys go back and forth with that Cougar Husky talk? Is there any banter that goes on in the training room?
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 years I done lost all my bets to Danny. So right now I'm not as cordial with him as I want to be. But we cool, man. That's my teammate. We got drafted the same year. We had some ups and downs, both just playing off the field too. So we can both relate. And just being from Washington, it's nice to have a guy that's from the same state as you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, you are on our show. This is our first show back, and we are getting ready for the NFL draft. Everybody out there that is doing talk radio shows, they're coming with the predictions and these mock drafts and these stats and 40 times and all that good stuff. And I just want to let you know we are doing absolutely none of that. All we want to do is talk to some guys that went through the process and get their experience. So right off the bat, I want to know from you. You're a guy that decided to come out of school early. You declared early for the NFL draft of 2015, even though you had another year of eligibility left in college. What led to your decision to forego your senior year?
Well, T and Marcus probably knows this, but the year before my sophomore year was really my best year, and a lot of people were contacting me my sophomore year telling me to come out, but, there are some things going on where I felt, I wasn't ready and I needed another year. I kind of had made up my mind midway through the year, my junior season. I was like, man, I'm either gonna play, after this year, or I'm gonna go to the league. Either way, I know it's a reachable goal, so I'm trying to get there. And I just started to, do that risk assessment, and I took the leap of faith, and it worked out in my favor. But I think a lot of guys take it, without weighing the risk, and they end up in a good situation and a bad situation at the same time.
Right.
Okay. X, what's up, man?
What's good, man? How you doing, man?
What's up? Hey, man, you sound good on this radio, man. Did you ever thought, about a second career here? Huh?
Yeah, man, I'm a natural. It's something about being from Tacoma. You don't, man.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Before we go further with your question, True, we barely got a job here. You trying to give somebody else our job already?
That's what I'm saying. Not like that, but you got to always pay it forward. You got to give back to the youngsters.
All right. I feel you.
X, I missed your draft party somehow, some way, and I'm trying to think of my mind. Where was I at doing your draft? Did you remember?
Man, I think you might have had something to do with the family, with the kids, man. If I can remember.
Yeah, it's always something with the kids, man. It's always something with the kids. But I wanna touch on the draft. I know you had all these plans. You came out early, and you was very calculated in what you did. You felt like that you wanted to do some things, and you had a plan. But after all the cheering and all the celebrating stopped on draft day, and she was able just to kind of reflect on things that were about to come. What was your first oh crap moment? Like, I need to get serious. So I want you to fill in the blank. I'm in the NFL now, and I have to do this.
I think it was, that's a good question. I think it was I need to man up, and that was that's a wide spectrum when you're talking about on and off the field, because now you got all this money and you got to be smart with it and handle the bills. When you're in college, you just handle a little stipend and you pay your rent, your little cable bill, but you don't got much going on. Now I got other things going on. I got to help out, my folks or whatever. And then on the field, I'm now playing with the best of the best. So that means my practice has to stretch off the field too to help me, on the field as well, and just, I think it was time management really. So
Absolutely.
A little bit of everything, yeah.
We are talking to Xavier Cooper, standout D lineman from Washington State University, now playing with the Cleveland Browns. I wanted to ask to double back and piggyback off that, what you just said, talking about the new responsibilities and the different type of things that happened once you were finally drafted and in the NFL as a rookie. Can you tell us what that dynamic was like, being in the locker room? So I can only imagine. So there's a young guy coming in straight out of college. You just got some brand new money. But you walk into a locker room, and there's guys there that have been there 6, 7 years. You're talking about grown men now, that maybe some of them are in their second and third contracts, and they have families, and they have big contracts. What kind of space does that put you in mentally, and what are some of the things you had to do to really buckle down and stay focused?
Man, I think it was when you're in the NFL, when you first get drafted, they try to, compress the time down for a rookie as much as possible. But you got so much free time, right? You don't got to do school. There's no academics involved. It's football, and that's it. So it was really came down to it. It's like, what do I want to do with my free time? Do I want to go out here and spend my money, or party and do it up, or do I want to be smart, stay at the crib and just focus on my craft, And I felt like, my first couple of years, I was still learning the process, but I was thankful to have, True, be a older role model coming from Tacoma, that when I got in, I was like, okay, I didn't seen a lot of the things I haven't seen at all because I haven't experienced for myself, but it wasn't new to me, and so I don't think the lifestyle intrigued me as much as it intrigues, newer guys that come in, because, a lot of guys, they just want to, be in the scene and stuff like that. I wasn't really too concerned with that. I was like, man, I'm trying to get on the field and take advantage of this opportunity, because it's such a short, time period, especially at my position, D-line.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a grind at D-line. You take a beating on every single play. We were talking to Xavier Cooper, Cleveland Browns defensive lineman, and I want to ask you this question. Now, we are the Barbershop Show. We get a little bit urban in here.
And so I was trying to keep it professional, but come on, T.
Yeah, no, we're going to keep it professional. We absolutely keep it professional. But, I'm just saying, I've been around a few guys. You know what I'm saying? I've been around True. I've been around a couple guys through my process at UW, and guys that went to the league, and they get that check. And there's always people that come around after you get that check with these great ideas of, I got a record company, dog. I got a restaurant, a chicken and grits. What happened? Did anybody come at you afterwards with any wild, crazy ideas on what you should do with your money? And if so, what was it?
Man, I don't think nobody was. I just really wouldn't put myself in the opportunity for nobody to come around with no crazy ass ideas. They knew I wouldn't go give them the time of day. But I think recently, man, and no disrespect, somebody came at me with a startup, and I'm not gonna name no names, but it wasn't really. There was no money in the company. They haven't really, been profiting anything. And I was just looking at them like, so you want me to take this amount of money and put it into this? I was like, no, sir. So I've heard worse, but I haven't really had no folks come to me with no crazy, startups or anything like that. I hope they wouldn't come to me, because I'm probably going to say, hell no. So.
I was just going to say, if you have a problem saying no, I could be the no guy for you. I don't cost a whole lot.
Hey,
I'm an investment right there. I'm a hell of an investment. Come send me the money.
And you know what, X? But that's a write-off too, right? Damn.
Hey, the barbershop is all about business.
If it's the right move, I need to see them check.
Hey, X, man, I want to say thank you for joining us here in the barbershop. We definitely got to get you back in, man. We love your energy. We love what you bring.
I appreciate you guys having me.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. Good luck.
All right, man. Good luck.
That was Xavier Cooper, ladies and gentlemen, hanging out with us for a little while here in the barbershop. That was a lot of fun, man.
Big X, man. T-Town is taking over, man. I'm liking this.
I know.
Loving it, as a matter of fact.
I ain't even going to hate on y'all, T-Town, right now. Y'all doing it, you guys.
Hey, man, you can't.
X, man, you, Isiah Thomas, Brother
Des.
Right
now, we need to check the score.
We need to check the score. Somebody text us in with the score, what the Celtics are doing. Matter of fact, we got a lot of texts coming in on who is the top running back of all time that ever played for the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to let you know at the end of the show what the poll came out to be. Text us your answer, 49451. Is Marshawn the greatest ever? When we come back, we are going to have, undisputably, the greatest ever offensive lineman that played for the Seahawks. Coming up next is Walter Jones, only in the Barbershop on Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Now back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Welcome back to the Barbershop Show on Sports Radio 950 KJR. It's me, T. Holla. My man, True, is over there in the corner doing a jump man.
Hey.
We got Drake and Future. It's live in here tonight. It's always live when it comes to the official Barbershop NFL Draft Day extravaganza. We got to be able to put something on my voice when I say extravaganza, man. Like, it's like some auto-tune. T-Pain me one time, man.
T-Pain me one
time.
time.
Can you get me with the T-Pain?
I have never heard that before. Somebody T-Pain me.
T-Pain me. I want the extravaganza. I don't know how to do that thing, man.
Buy me a drink.
We want to give a shout-out to Xavier Cooper. Thank you for joining us here, man. You guys can definitely follow him on social media.
Yes. What y'all say that was? Xavier Cooper _96.
96.
Big
That's
96.
Right. You can find him there. And thank you guys for texting us here. We had the question on who is Marshawn Lynch the greatest running back to ever wear a Seattle Seahawks uniform? And your poll has been overwhelming. Beastquake, the best in Seattle and top 5 of all time. NFL, go Hawks. That's coming out of the 253. Yes, Marshawn is the greatest running backs the Hawks have ever had. Alexander benefited from one of the greatest O-lines I've ever seen. Wow. Which leads us to our next guest.
Perfect, T. That was perfect.
That was a good segue. I did that on the fly. That was like freestyle.
That was perfect.
That was pretty dope. One of the greatest O-lines, it says Sean Alexander benefited from, and the greatest O-lineman on that O-line is joining us here tonight. 9-time Pro Bowler, 2000s NFL All-Decade team member. His number 71 jersey will never, ever, ever, ever be worn by another Seattle Seahawks player ever again.
Ever.
And he's also in the Hall of Fame. Got that yellow coat. His name is Walter Jones, and he is here with the Barbershop tonight. What's up, Walt?
Hey, what's up, fellas, man? How y'all doing?
Doing all right.
Doing all right, man. Big Walt, what is going on in your world right now?
Oh, man, just chilling, man. Looking out for my son, man. My son is definitely focusing on football right now, so got him in a couple of camps and stuff, man, just trying to, lead him in the right direction.
How old is your son?
He's 17, man.
Oh, all right. He's so is he playing? What position is he playing?
He's playing D tackle right now. A little D tackle and nose guard, man. I can't get him on the offensive line, man. But I'm trying my best to get him on there, man. But he want to play defense, so I'm gonna let him have his way.
Well, Walter, you know what they do nowadays? They take D linemen and make them offensive linemen.
Hey, that's what they do, man. They know where they know where the glory is at in the air, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work, man, to be on that D lineman. So you get on that offensive line, man, you get a chance to play.
That's right. You are listening to the Barbershop. It is the official Barbershop NFL Draft Day extravaganza. And we have Walter Jones, the legend, in here with us tonight. We are talking about the NFL Draft, and we want to talk about your experience, Walt. You left Florida State early. You declared for the draft early. In hindsight, looking at it, it was a great decision. Obviously, you had an incredible career. But looking back to you at that time, was it a hard decision for you to make?
It wasn't a hard decision. It was one of those situations where we had, for me that year, we had like 3 offensive tackles at Florida State that was getting regular time. So that year that I came out, we was rotating tackles. So I wasn't getting all the reps in every game. So we would play, the guys would start the series and I go in the third series. So I was doing that throughout the season. And so for me, that was kind of hard because I think a lot of the coaches thought that, hey, well, he hasn't got a full season in of playing, just completely starting the whole season. He wasn't going to come out. But at that same time, at the end of the year, probably around about, you got about 1 or 2 games left. They do this draft thing where they put out the top offensive linemen. And, at that time, they had put me at number 2 behind Orlando Pace. So at that point, I was getting the recognition, and you start hearing whispers, and you see a lot of the guys that's been at Florida State all that time and getting all the recognition. But every time someone or some agent or someone talked to the upperclassmen, they was coming to asking about Walter Jones and who is this guy Walter Jones. So when I got through playing in the championship game, I came back to school, and I think I was in school for like one day, and I was like, man, my mom my mom always told me that opportunities don't come often. And I thought that it was my opportunity. I was like, man, I'm out of here. You know, I said, this is
I'm out of here.
I said, I'm out of here, man. I said,
I was gone.
You know what I'm saying? It was my opportunity. I felt like this was my, Orlando Pace was the top offensive lineman. I was number 2. I'm thinking like, man, there's 32 teams. I say he can go only to one team. So I kind of like, well, this is my opportunity to see, can I make it in the NFL?
Now, you let something slip in there. I don't know if everybody caught that, but I caught it. The fact that you said you were rotating with guys at Florida State and you decided to go to the NFL instead. Who in the world says, I want more playing time, so I'm going to go to the NFL?
That's heavy, yeah.
That's deep.
I know, man. In college, it's all about, a lot of times if those guys are, they've been there for 4 years, you let those senior guys. I was coming out of junior college, so I was coming out of junior college, so you still have to come in there and gain your respect. But I had the respect that I was a great player and I could play at that level. But still, and again, these guys had played 3 or 4 years, so those guys still had to go out there and play. So it was a situation where the coach had to rotate us all in to try to get us on the football field.
Gotcha.
Walt Jones, what's up? This is True. What's the deal, man?
What's up, True, man? What up, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm kind of liking this radio Walt, man. You're very talkative now because, I remember back in the locker room, it was like you was one of those guys. I was nervous. I couldn't even come up to you, man, and you be quiet. You had that mean look. I'm like, damn, can I even go say what's up to this dude? But now we got the nice, proper, yeah. I like it. I can dig that, Walt.
It's one of those things where you have to earn your respect in the game, man. And I came in that era right when that was, the league is not like that anymore. Like there was a lot of veteran guys, and so I had to be quiet, man. So it took me like 6 years to start talking, man, because I had those veteran guys were telling me to be quiet. You kind of know how that was when you first got in the league.
Exactly.
You could be in the group talking, but you couldn't say nothing. You just had to sit there and listen. So I was like, man, I'm not saying nothing, man. I'm gonna play on the football field, and that's it.
Okay, well, that's a perfect segue talking about the young guys and just how the draft is now and the marketing. Like, as a guy that comes from that time, or, I don't like to say old school because I still feel like we're young, but guys now that are going through the draft and they're getting these commercials, they're already getting the sponsorship. They're already saying, I know a young man said that he wants to be like Tom Brady and this is what he wants to do and all this kind of stuff. As a old school type of cat, how do you feel about that, and kind of where do you think the game is going for guys that haven't even stepped foot on the field yet?
I mean, I think it's the way the game is going. It's all about the way that Coach Carroll's teach those guys is all about competition, and you're bringing in the youngest guys and making those guys feel like they're a part of the team, and those guys are coming in and they're making strides, as soon as they get in this league. And I think that's great. No matter what you say you want to do, you still got to go out there and perform on the football field. You can wish for all that stuff and say, I want to do this, but still, again, you got to go out there and perform on the field. And a lot of times those guys that's getting the deals now, those guys will go out there and put the work on the football field still. So you still got to go out there and put the work out there on the football field.
Nice. We are talking to Hall of Fame offensive lineman Walter Jones here joining us in the barbershop. Now, Walter, the draft is coming up tomorrow. A bunch of young men's lives are going to change tomorrow forever. They're going to be able to change their family's future, the family tree forever. And you were in that same position back in, 97, right?
Yes.
So I want to know, just to give the people out there listening, what kind of frame of mind were you in? What kind of frame of mind are some of these guys going to be in tonight and tomorrow as they prepare to hear their name being called?
Oh, man, I think at that point you're ready. You know what I'm saying? You did all the work. You're saying, okay, this is the time to kind of see what team, you kind of those top guys got a feeling of what team they're going to. They kind of, nowadays now they telling these guys, probably 24 hours or 48 hours, hey, we're going to draft you if you're there. So It's just a matter of just, staying patient and waiting. I always said to myself, I was a high draft pick, but I always said, hey, there's 32 teams and, there's someone out there that likes me and that wants me to play for them. So you have to look at it like that. And, hey, once I get my name called, I'm going to represent this team and go out there and put the best on the football field.
Now, I know we wanted to focus on the NFL draft, but before we get out of here, I got to ask you this question. Looking at the current Seahawks, One of the areas of concern as of late has obviously been the offensive line. They've been the scapegoat for a lot of the problems that the team has had over the last year or so. Do you think that the offensive line is something that these Seahawks need to address through the draft, or do they continue to build off what they have, just based on what you see?
I think they will, address in the draft. I think it's, this team. I think this team is more built on making sure that they got the players on defense. I think everybody knows that, and I think with the, and with the younger offensive linemen, those guys, I have met those guys, and I had a chance to talk to those guys. Those guys want to be great, and they understand that whatever happens on the offense is going to be. It's going to be a lot on those guys, and those guys got another year under their belt. So those guys are maturing as the off season goes, and those guys are going to be better next year. So I got great hopes for those guys. Those guys definitely going to improve from last year to this year.
You heard it here from Walter Jones, the great, legendary Hall of Fame Walter Jones. We want to say thank you for joining us here tonight. Hey, Walt, before we let you go, is there anything? Where can the people see you at? Where can they find you at? We know you kind of a quiet guy. You like to stay to yourself, but where can they find you at? What's going on with Walter?
Hey, man, I don't. Right now, I think I just signed up with the Howard the poker tournament. I think that's June 21st.
Man. John Howard.
By the way, we will all be there.
Howard.
Marcus and myself will be there.
So I look forward to that, man. And a lot of the stuff is I'm doing out of town this weekend. I'm going down to Tampa. I play in Derrick Brooks. That's one of my Hall of Fame classmates, man. I get a chance to go down there every year to play in a golf tournament, man. I've been working on my golf game, man. Just like you're saying, being quiet, man. I always look at this, man. As long as I'm being quiet and you don't see me, man, I'm doing something right, man.
That's right.
I try to be a family man, and support my kids, man, and making sure that they on the right track. And man, and if something is right now, it's kind of like the off season for me too, man. So I'm waiting on the season to start so things can start happening. So people can start seeing me around here and stuff and doing things for the Seahawks.
That's right. We look forward to seeing you more, Walter, and talking to you more, man. Congratulations on everything that you've been doing, man. We love the example that you set. Walter Jones did this tonight.
Thanks a lot, man.
Appreciate it, Walt.
Boy, True, we made it through.
That was a heavy show, though. I
did
like
heavy.
that, man. That was strong.
It's
strong.
It's all downhill from now. Just playing with you, man. You guys can follow Walter Jones on Twitter. He is at BigWalt71. Absolutely follow that, man. It's going to be good. Hey, until next Wednesday, just hang out and wait for the barbershop, man. Stay by your dial. Stay by your iHeartRadio app. Follow us at Barbershop Show _ on Twitter and on Facebook.
Yes.
Get involved in our Barbershop Show group. Hey, until next Wednesday, y'all, for myself and Marcus Trufant, it's the Barbershop on Sports Radio 950 KJR.